Hey, it's Andrew again. I got another game I would like to share. It's LHX Attack Chopper for the Sega Genesis. It's a very old attack helicopters like simulation type thing. Um, don't expect much from the graphics, considering it's on the Sega Genesis, but I got a real soft spot for these kinds of games, and this being probably one of the better example of games with these kind of like really blocky vector, blocky high graphics. So yeah, I'm playing this on an original Sega Genesis with the Power Clutch SG ASCIIware um, arcade controller, which I absolutely love for playing on the Sega Genesis. So yeah, we'll start this up. Basically, I got to take out some gunships at a base before they get taken off, and we'll see how this goes. So yeah, basically, I take off here, go my origin, and away we go. So I'm gonna increase my altitude and head to my first waypoint. So basically what you see is what you get for graphics. Pretty flat and boring, and you don't get much for this ground or sky except for maybe the odd piece of scenery, like the little blocky terrain that you see.
Look right.
Like these kind of games, you really got to sort of pay attention to like what you're actually doing with the controls. And there's even functions to the control. Like for instance, holding start A, B, or C while holding start does different things. Holding start while going up and down on your control stick will increase and decrease your altitude. At the same time, going left and right will make you kind of strafe left and right with your helicopter. And it's even kind of cool with this game. You can do, different kind of views. Pass view. You can do a circling view, which is kind of cool. Let's gotta go back to the cockpit view. So this little arrow that you see at the top of your HUD, just below the E there, that's basically where your waypoint is. You want to stay on that. The LHX attack chopper comes equipped with 2,000 20mm chain gun rounds, 4 sidewinders, and 8 hellfires. The Apache comes with a little bit more hellfires, but only comes with 2 sidewinders. So the sidewinders are good for taking out aircraft, while the hellfires are better suited for the ground targets. So you're kind of trading up for, you know, two more sidewinders and less hellfires with the LHX. But the LHX is a little bit faster too. It's more of a stealthy helicopter than the Apache. So basically, the targeting system is pretty much locks on automatically to anything that you're supposed to shoot at. You want to be careful when you're picking up like like certain missions. You got to pick up like pilots and whoa, wait a second, that was unexpected. Oh, I was not expecting that. The problem with this
The target.
Yeah, the problem with the graphics in this game is the frame rates are so crappy. Like we're talking like 5 frames a second. That things can just pop right up in front of you. Like I was just coming up between those two mountains there. and all of a sudden, like I was on my the base was supposed to be here.
Lock and load.
Look about all the targets I was supposed to get.
Look left.
I'm gonna switch my sidewinders, give myself some more altitude, take out those helicopters that were around me. Got one. There's a lot of helicopters after me.
Look left.
Oh, I was hit by something. I was just hit by something. I don't know what yet, but right now I want to take out these helicopters as well.
Look left.
Get out of here. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Full throttle, I'm out. Dropping my altitude. Taking out that Gaskin right there. He's out. Okay, I'm just gonna stop my aircraft here. Make sure I'm not being followed. I think I'm being. Oh, yeah, we got a attack chopper coming in. Increasing my altitude. Come on. Lock on. Yeah, I gotta go after him a bit.
Lock and load.
Sidewinder away, and I got him. Perfect. I'm just going to head off to the other waypoint here. I believe I got all the targets I was supposed to get. Some of the missions in this game, they don't actually tell you mission successful. It's kind of odd. Most of the time it does. Now, I apologize about all the scan lines on the screen. There's not really much I can do about that. It just seems to be how the Genesis is displaying on my laptop. Needless to say, also the capture card I don't have is it's not the greatest quality. I picked it up at Prince It Auto. Got it for like $10, so does the video the video and the composites, so it's hard to find those today, the ones that do video. Most of them only do the HDMI. I'm gonna lower my altitude a bit here. So in this kind of game, you don't want to go blowing up everything that you see, because you want to be able to save your ordnance to for your main targets, obviously. Including there's some instances where you have to take out up to like 6 helicopters, and that can be very challenging because the most sidewinders you get is with the LHX, and they only give you 4. So there's a couple times where you gotta line up the chin cannon and try to spray and pray if you can. Yeah, so I was saying before, I'm using the Power Clutch SG by ASCIIware, and I absolutely love this pad for playing my Sega Genesis. Like really any game that I have, I normally play with it, except for probably Sonic the Hedgehog or a couple other games. Basically, it's an arcade style controller where you got, instead of the directional pad, it's the control stick. And one reason why I love this style of control pad for including the Sega is because a lot of the games for the Sega were designed to mostly were designed off of arcades. So it just makes sense to play some of the games with this style of controller. Games sort of like Final Fight, or Streets of Rage, sorry. Streets of Rage, you know, just fighting games like that. Some of the simulation games do very well on it. If you don't have like the flight sticks, you can actually get away quite comfortably with using the arcade pad, which I'm quite happy with for playing the air simulator games, or the flight simulator games like this with the arcade pad. The ASCIIware was actually a very interesting sort of like off-brand for the Sega consoles. They might have been known by a different brand or something like that, but they were generally like a mid-range price, alternative to buying like the official Sega brand. And most of the time, they were actually built pretty good. I got two ASCII pads. I got one that's your classic type of controller, but it has like all the turbo buttons and that. And then I have the ASCII Power Clutch, which is the arcade style. And the biggest difference I would say between the official Sega arcade pad, I can't remember the name of that one, but it is the size. The official Genesis one has much more girth to it, and the reason being is because they actually designed it to be more ergonomic for your left hand to rest on. But what I like about the Power Clutch SG, ASCIIware, they actually had two different arcade style pads for the Sega Genesis and the Master System. One was a little bit more blockier than the other one. I can't remember the model of the other one, but the SG has more of like a curved, more curved ergonomics, and it's actually quite nice to kind of wrap your hand around it to play. So pretty much you can just tell most of your game is just flying back and forth to your waypoints, and every now and then you can blow something up if you want to, if you have the extra ordnance. Oh, that's a Bradley. Don't shoot that. That's one of ours. Ah, shit. I was shooting my own guy. Yeah, I'm coming up on my base here. So I'm actually going to be doing probably one of the most difficult things in this game. It's actually landing. And a lot of people complain about this part of the game because they can't figure out how to beat a mission because, well, how do you land the damn thing is what most people were saying. Even I had to figure out how to land this. But simply just fly over your landing strip. It's easy as this. Slow down your aircraft to a complete stop. And you want to be really careful on your descent. So we're about 400, 350, 300 feet, 250-ish. So you just hold the start button and you just go down on your control stick just very carefully. You can easily screw this part up, Successful mission and everything, but you can easily blow yourself up right here if you crash your aircraft by landing. So you just want to Very careful, just a little bit at a time. You'll hear you hear the landing gear come out like that, around 20 feet. We're about 10, 2, and then there we go, landed. You destroyed the M18 hip carrying the papers, which are now just charred scrap blowing in the desert wind. The White House sends its unofficial gratitude. Mission score 412. Total score 412. Personnel report. Your rank is still second lieutenant. And you know what? It won't matter even if you get top score. You will always be second lieutenant throughout this entire game. So anyway, that's LHX attack chopper. And I guess I'm going to have some water when I do this because my mouth gets really parched when, for whatever reason. But yeah, like this is a lot of fun. I hope anyone watching this enjoyed the my first Sega broadcast, and I got a bunch of other Sega games I'm going to try out. This is just sort of one of my favorite ones that I've played and actually beaten quite recently, and so hope you all enjoyed, and I'll come out with more later on. Alright, bye.